Hello, I know there are a lot of YouTube videos out there on how to do your first service, the 300-mile or the 500-kilometer service, where you change your oil and adjust your valves. And when I was thinking about this, I thought, I'm not going to do another video. There's a lot out there from Scotland, England, North America, all over the world, India. But then I got to thinking that I did watch a few different videos to kind of piece together everything, at least I thought I needed to do this. And one of the things was, what are the tools you need ahead of time and their measurements, etc. So I thought this might be useful. So if it is for you, great. So first of all, to get this out here to get into the crankshaft, you need a 14 millimeter hex bit. Now, this is just like any hex set you have, but typically that hex set ends at like a 10 or something like that. So I went to, in North America, we have Harbor Freight in the United States, here in Los Angeles. Very inexpensive place to go for this stuff. So I got a whole set of these for like 10 bucks. So that's the 14 millimeter for right there. You need to decompress your cylinder, you need to pull out the spark plug. So that is a 16 millimeter on a little wobbly extension here. Now, it's not a special spark plug wrench as long as it's a deep one and a skinny enough one to get in there. Another really good thing someone pointed out on a YouTube video is if you had an air compressor or a can of air or something, or even a vacuum or a blower, blow out the dust before you pull out the spark plug, because if you pull out the spark plug, any little contaminant or dust will go down into your cylinder. All right, so we've gotten that off. We've taken the spark plug out. In order to turn the crankshaft to get your valves in the right alignment, at that point, I think it is a 17 millimeter that you need. So I have a 17 millimeter deep socket, and I didn't have like a breaker bar or a long handle, but I did have this torque wrench, which I think will work. So that's to turn that over. Okay, where are we at so far? Hey, while you got your spark plug out, you might as well gap it. So you need a feeler gauge. This was about $5 at Harbor Freight, and also you'll need the same feeler gauge for your valves. Now, I wish they had a go, no go, which is another type where it's got, the first part is the diameter that you need, the little gap, and the second part is the next one. So when you stick it in, you know exactly that it first fits the actual measurement, and then you're gonna bump into the next one if it's correct. It's called go, no go. Go, no go. You can get those on Amazon. Okay, you'll also need a 10 millimeter spanner wrench once you get in there to break. I think there's a lock nut on top of the screw that you'll need to actually adjust the valve. Before you even get there, you need an 8 millimeter spanner wrench, monkey wrench, to get to this, the valve cover here. And of course, you'll need to take off your tank, and there's a lot of procedures out there on how to do that. Some people don't take off their tank. They can just lift it up a bit by loosening the few screws. I think there's 2 screws on the front, and there's about 5 hose attachments. You can just lift it up. I need to rewire, get my fog lights wired, so I'm gonna take the opportunity while I'm doing the valves, take the tank off and run the wiring up to the relay that's in the headlight. If you didn't know it already, the headlight comes with a spare like accessory wire, so that when you turn your keys on, the fog lights that I'm about to hook up will turn on also. Of course, for the oil filter, I got this cheap little wrench here. That was about $4 to pull off the oil filter. Drip pan, of course, funnel to get it back in. Some people, I saw a clever YouTube video, and they drained the oil and then put it in like a gallon jug, and then they marked exactly what they pulled out so that they knew exactly how much to put back into it. Okay, so some more specifications. Oil filter. There's a brand you can use, Mahle, M-A-H-L-E, and thank you, James Slick England, YouTube channel, YouTuber. He mentioned that the North American or India part number is OC1600, OC1600, and in Europe it seems to be the OC458. You're going to take 3.1 liters of oil, or 3.27 quarts. That's 10W50, fully synthetic, as recommended by Royal Enfield. The brand that seems to be recommended a lot on YouTube is Silcoline, so I'm going to do that. A little harder to find in LA, but I did see it on Amazon for for about, I think it was about $60 or $63 for 4 liters. The valve clearances, the intake is 0.08 millimeters. The exhaust, intake here, exhaust here, I think. Exhaust is 0.18 millimeters. So I hope that's helpful. Doing it yourself, like somebody mentioned, it's a great way to kind of get to know your motorcycle. I know in LA, that first maintenance of 300 miles or 500 kilometers would be about $400. I think I'm into it. Parts, I had some existing tools, but I'm into it with the oil and filter and the tools I needed to buy for it. About $110, but next time, of course, it'll be a lot cheaper. So hopefully that helps, kind of all the specifications in one place. Enjoy your motorcycle maintenance and motorcycle riding. We'll talk to you soon.